try that again. What the hell? Son of a bitch! Freaking phone. Oh, you're an asshole. You fucked me up. Okay, you didn't do it. I did it, but still, I get to blame you now. Thank you. Crap. I don't know if anybody's familiar with it, but there's a song that's like, I don't know, 1,000,000 years old. Where's that? Yeah, that's it right there. Called Wayfaring Stranger. And I think it's kind of badass. I'm playing that next. That's why I mentioned it. It's way prettier when it's played right. And like all the rest of them, I'll get it one of these days. I popped into a stream tonight. The channel only had like 30-some subscribers, but the conversation was phenomenal. Like passionate and real as fuck. There was a lady on the phone whose brother was a higher ranking officer who had retired out of the military, who was murdered by the cops. And she discussed what happened to her brother and that it was a welfare check that got him killed. There may be people here who disagree with me when I say the civil rights movement changed nothing. It changed policy that they walked through anyway. And they're never held accountable for it. I guess I can't say never, but when they are held accountable for it, it is a big to-do. But when they're not, people don't even know the names of the dead. But, be a cop and commit suicide or, have a heart attack or die in a car wreck and, oh, you died in the line of duty and everybody knows your name and we're going to build a statue for you. But all these mothers out there with their babies dead and gone, never going to see them again. Where's their statue? Where do they go to remember the kids? I don't know about you guys, but my kids, they know that if they're driving or they're riding with somebody else, and it doesn't matter if it's grandma, you get stopped by the cops, the first thing you do once you get stopped is you put your hands on the roof of the the cab of the truck. And you leave them there until that cop fucking walks over. I mean, my God, the videos here on my channel of Christopher Fitzpatrick's murder. And I live in podunk fucking nowhere. The whole county is podunk nowhere. You know, we got more trees and cows than we do people. But Aberdeen police managed to still murder 3 people every year with no dash cams and no body cams. But every time there is some kind of footage that gets put out there because of someone's security cameras, every time there was no justification for what they done. And the entire department covers for them. I used to think we had a couple of good cops in the Aberdeen Police Department. I don't think that anymore. We have caught them bold-faced lying on the news. We don't need this shit no more. I'm not saying abolish the police, but I'm saying abolish their fucking goddamn immunity. And if they break policy, they're not only terminated, but they get their fucking credentials taken from them. And are never allowed to work in a position of power ever again. If they're so highly fucking trained, they can handle that. Either they're highly trained or they need more training, but they can't be both. And the pukers agree with me. I'm gonna play some more. God damn it, son of a whore. To hell with this song too. Oh, fuck my life. not the version I usually play. This one's the one that actually sounds like the song. No. Okay, I'm ready to chit chat. I'm bad at this. But I'm okay with it and it feels good. But I'm bad at it. Holy smokes, it's Randy. Oh my goodness, dude. I was awesome, right? I think I was awesome. I think I was phenomenal. I really do. Mighty Mouse's girlfriend, Emerald, your painting is ready. My Trump said, my bestest buddy from way far away. I need to get over to the YouTube side of things. There we go. There. Thanks, Randy. I try. I'm teaching myself, and when you teach yourself how to do things, you should fire your instructor. I'm a firm believer in that. B squared, my honey. I was just talking to you. Yeah, I tear through those pretty quickly. If anybody wants to send me anything, send me big hugs and hearts and loves. I like those the best. Oh, Lion One, I love you. My organ rogue pimp. Did you catch me any fishies yet? I really need fishies. No, wait a minute. You're below Hanford. Never mind. I don't want to die. I don't want to glow in the dark. You're probably only like maybe 100 miles if that from Hanford. You should move. Desert Go, my buddy, my pal. HPR. Yeah, but HPR, you're actually good at playing the guitar, though. There's a difference. Oh, Lord have mercy. Was it live bait? If you guys haven't met Jack, Jack is awesome. I call him Diaper Butt because he's a crippled dog who has an owner who loves him and takes care of him really well. It's easy to exercise your 2A if you're out in the woods. That's cheating. Cheater. Yeah, Trump said, I haven't seen or heard from you very much lately, and I'm offended. My heart is broken, and I'm sad, and that's really rude. I'm going to send you a picture of my butt, and I'm making you go blind for life. For life. Where organ rub, don't eat them. You will glow. You don't want to glow. I can sing like a bird. A bird might be a crow, but it's still a fucking bird. Oh my god. Okay. So we're gonna watch Jack be cute because he's fucking cute. I hate this dog so fucking much. Oh my god. Oh my god. Get it, Jack, get it. Get it. Oh, what an angel. Stupid fucking dog. Anyway, that is Jack, and he is awesome. And he's calm and he's quiet and he just wants somewhere to chill. He's not, yippy and bitey and annoying like most little dogs. He's pretty cool. What about my leg, huh? No, piss off. I can't even see my legs. Dude, who doesn't? Everybody loves the nooch. Property and houses used to be cheap out there fucking just 15 years ago. You should go out to Satsip instead. It's still pretty cheap out that way. And just as good fishing. Tulips is even cheaper. You could get a place by 13 Corners and be in between the two. Satsip, yeah.
Not 13 Corners anymore. It's just Corners.
Yeah, true. It is just Corners. But my great legs are great big legs. They're super swole. And not in the good kind of swole. Oh, Hump Tulips. That's where I grew up. Yes, it's a real place. It's right next to the rainforest, Lake Quinault. Don't you judge me. I've been told you I'm a hickabilly. It ain't my fault. I was born this way. I would ask to be born. I'm glad I was. Oh, AJ and Iba. Oh, dogs are the best. I fucking love dogs. Yeah, AJ, go mow the fucking grass at dark 30.
No.
But B Squared said you have to.
Yeah, everybody says a lot of things.
Did you see I have a shed? I got a shed. Pretty cool, right? I don't know what a thunderbark is, but I want to know. Oh yeah, I know, you're weird as shit. King 9, what the hell are you doing here? Oh, my annoying neighbor's here.
Annoying.
Hey, I'm live. Say hi.
Oh, hi. I don't want to talk to you yet.
Okay, I'm gonna mute you guys for just a minute because my neighbor's here and she's shy like that.
I'm
So,
shy.
You know, shy and stuff. You guys, she couldn't talk about pot in front of you.
I was being respectful. I don't have dog treats. You have dog treats.
Somebody must have drugged her. She's trying to be respectful.
I'm not crazy. You're the one who's crazy. Sorry.
We know this.
I was singing you a song.
We know this.
Thank you for those
You want to
goals.
hear what me and B Squared were talking about earlier? Because I sent her pictures of those stickers, those two. And I said, oh my God, my neighbor knows these so well. And she asked me which one.
What'd she say?
She said, which one? And
What were you talking about?
the stickers that you gave me.
Oh, yeah, they're bad, huh?
And I said, oh, the crazy one. Oh, wait, that's all of us. Never mind.
Well, at least you didn't say the cat lady. Remember that one time I came over here and your sister was here and the cat was right here? And I came in with kitty ears and you're like, it's the cat lady. I'm like, why would you call me that? And then Carl goes, meow from behind me. Jesus. Okay.
My very sober sister.
I love you. Goodbye.
I love you too, honey. Have a good night.
You too. I'll probably be back. I don't know.
Okay, I'll be here.
Maybe I will. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, you could have at least sent me a text message that said fuck off or something, Trump said. I mean, my goodness. I would have told you to fuck off. Indy! It's good to see you, buddy. Oh, okay, well then I guess I have no excuse. I'll shut up now. You should have. It would have scared the fucking shit out of her. She's little. She's jumpy. She's like a little chihuahua. Okay, for like 2 weeks, I basically ignored the whole world. I'm not even gonna lie. Maybe a little bit longer. Aw, Mr. Norwood. Welcome. Thanks for popping in. Depression is such a fucking son of a bitch. I hate it. Because I know what's wrong with me. And I don't want to feel that way. But I can't want to give a fuck enough to fucking do anything about it. Like, how does one fucking slap themselves out of that kind of a state of mind? Tell really lame jokes. And if it gets real bad, ignore the world. Because maybe it'll all go away when I pop my head back up. It never does. But. Okay. Come on. I'd love to be as nutty as you are. Well, you just go right on ahead and tell him stuff and things then. I tell him stuff and things all the time. He don't listen. Heidi and Aiden don't listen. The dog don't listen. That's not true. If we were back in the 70s, you would be one of the hottest guys in the block. With that fro you got going. You can send a crow up here. I like crows. And I hate birds. They're scary. Ray Stevens is good. I think the Who is better. HU, not, WHO. Okay, what the fuck has big teeth? Damn it. I'm looking. I can't find nothing. Somebody tell me what's going on. talking about like Sasquatch or something? Sixth Estate. Hello. I'm glad that you're here. My nose is stuffy and I don't like it. Oh! Yeah, those things are pretty cool. You had some in your yard? I'm the big dog. Me. You're a doctor, Billy. You're a doctor. I swear to God, there's something else that's and I'm not the only one who's seen it. And that's all the crazy I'm letting you in on today. But I've seen it with my own fucking eyes. And this is before drugs. So you can't blame that. I don't even think I tried pot yet. Ew, love is gross. Yeah, I know that now, but when I was like 24, 25, I did it. I know, I didn't do nothing. I was busy. And it was bad, and you'll go to jail for it. It's crazy to think that I did some of the things that I did in between, just during my late 20s for like, I did some pretty crazy fucking shit. I should be dead right now, 5 times over. Fluke dog! Dude! It is really good to see you. How are things over your way? Oh, it's easy to fall for the pot, man. It's easy to fall for the pot. She gets a hold of your heart and just won't let go. It just happens. Yeah, we were late bloomers. It's all right. But like I was an early bloomer, but I was a late bloomer at the same time. Bloomers. Those are underwear. Oh my God, I cracked myself up. I'm faking it until I can trick myself into believing that I'm fine. I'm almost there. Yeah, I'm almost there. It really does work. Bloomy McBloomerson. It's like Bodie McBoatface. Denise Wynn. Hey, I'm on that thingamadoo. I said when you said you'd find somebody else, I messaged you back and said I'm ready, like right now, I can do it, and you never said nothing, and so I'm sorry if I made you mad. And I'm sorry, I suck, but depression is a bitch. It's nice to see that Marty weird ass last name that I can't pronounce doing good over there. I can only understand him talking about half the damn time. And the what do you call it? Closed captioning. Can't even decipher what he's saying half the time. Oh, I don't drink beers. So maybe it's from not enough beers. Oh, Oh, I don't think I've gotten it. My email is, I don't know what it is. Something is eating up all of my memory or something. And I went and deleted a whole bunch of stuff and it still says that it's full and that I may not get some of my emails because of how full it is. I don't know. I don't understand nothing. I'm half tempted, but I mean, honey, you got my number. You can text me, and you know, if I'm literally that bad with my depression, I'm not even. My phone's in the bathroom, or it's like inside my chair, and I'll just leave it there. Ah, my nose. What the hell? When I log off of here, if you wanna come up onto StreamYards with me, I can walk you through some stuff. Are you poking fun? I feel like that's a joke somehow. Merry Christmas, Billy. Merry Christmas. Oh, that channel that I was on earlier. I want to share it with you guys because I think you'll like it. I just got to find it. The one where there was like really awesome conversation. And the guy's here in the Northwest somewhere. I don't know. No, I didn't mean to do that. It was an accident. No. Oh, and Anuna's got some new stuff out too. She's been doing a lot of good things. I don't remember watching that. Oh, here it is. I found it. Okay, so the channel name is called Pacific Northwest Family Circle. And they were talking about police brutality and, you know, up our alley. The stuff that pisses us off, that's what they were talking about. But it was a really good conversation. And even though there were people that weren't agreeing with each other in the feed, like everybody was, you know, able to voice their feelings and their thoughts and their perception of everything without shitting on anybody else. Yeah. Yeah. Some old guy was running it. Well, older, I guess. I don't know. Older than me guy. Why, what works? Oh. Okay, so I want to have a conversation with you. What kind of magic mushrooms, because here in the Northwest we have all kinds. Not all the kinds, but you know, all kinds. And then what about like parasites that might be in? I don't know how to do any of that shit, dude. I don't want to die and I don't want to get like a tapeworm or some shit. I mean, like, I've watched the mushroom guy on that Joe Rogan interviews all the time, and then of course we have our own mushroom guy in the community. I won't mention his name just because of the subject we're talking about, but we have one that does that for a living. Well, the normal edible ones, but he's got the other ones too. Okay, but then by doing the whole boiling water thing, doesn't that like leach out some of the stuff that you want to put in your body? And then how long do I need to boil it for? And then how much, I mean, what if it's like, how do you tell the strength of these fucking things and just shove them into capsules and then take it? Like, dude, last time I did mushrooms, I puked for days.
Can't tell the strength. Should not be able to determine that.
What kind of mushrooms were they, Billy? So like in a food dehydrator type of thing? A cane toad. I don't know what a cane toad is. AJ, hush. They can hear you.
Hear me what?
Talk. Stop talking. Becky says, be quiet. Fuck my life. So I'm not the only one that gets pukey off of them fucking things. I mean, like, holy smokes, pukey. And I was all fuckered up, so it was like being too drunk after puking, and I couldn't necessarily walk straight. Ooh, and then my dog that night decided it was going to attack a fucking bottle rocket. And we had to go to the vet like that. And it was fucked up. I know. I don't even have to look. I know what I did. I know what I did. I know what I did. I want some spaghetti. I like spaghetti. What is this? The Sage Journal thing. What it is? What it is? Tell me. Therapeutic advances in psychopharmacology. I'd have to go to Oregon. I think they're still illegal up here. But I'm pretty sure that if I got it prescribed to me down in Oregon, that I could bring it up here, I think. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. Okay, those cane toads, what do they, I don't even know what they look like. And that's another thing. If I don't know exactly what the hell I'm looking at, I ain't touching it. I heard that it does a lot of good for people struggling with PTSD and shit too. And you know,
It does a lot of good for everybody all the time. Always.
my nose is getting more and more stuffed up. What the
That's
fuck?
not true. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna punch you in the eye. Be nice. Yeah, but that don't help me in the woods none. Not that I could go to the woods anyway. they'd have to be well swept, you know. Vacuum the woods up for me, you know, cut a nice wide path. I'll get a beeping thing from my wheelchair, so when I back up, you know, people know to look out. Do dogs try to eat that stuff? Stupid dogs. Okay. We may get stuck out there. It may be the beginning of a horror film. Body dump capital of Washington. Oh, dude, his dogs won't even take a piece of bacon from a stranger. Not even. She's getting fat and old, and when she sits down, her belly touches the floor. $700 Club, hi. I know, right? We're a bunch of old sons of bitches. Yep, that's right. I've seen it. Don't lie. You's calling us old sons of bitches. We know. And yeah, I get all kinds in here. The way I see it is everybody is welcome in here. There's got to be somewhere we can go and just fucking exist. If we only converse with the echo chambers, we will never learn anything new or step outside of ourselves. Which means we will all end up being one of those annoying motherfuckers who always thinks they're right and always says, I know, I know, I know, when they don't fucking know. Oh God, yes, that's older than the hills. Holy shit. Oh, hell yeah. Let me grab it. Here you go. Mine. My nose. I need some allergy Nisodin. It's not running away. It's like got corks in it or something. I can't breathe. It's like I got a deviated septum on one side and like the other side's plugged up too, so I can't breathe out of either side, but for different reasons. If that makes sense. Wait, no, I never make sense. I'm priceless. I don't need to make sense. I just want to breathe. Apparently that's asking too much. it's safe in here. It's always safe in here. Oh, that's only one hooter. Did you have one removed so that you could shoot a bow and arrow? Not true. It's safe right here. Right here. I looked. There's nobody there. Oh, now there is.
Looking for a safe space just to crawl in and tuck tight.
This isn't
Look
one
out below. What?
of. This isn't one of those. It's just safe
Okay. Gotcha.
because we
What's
have lots of
up?
different opinions in the chat. Lots of different opinions. But all the people here, you know, kind of are respectful about opinions and know that's what they are, is opinions.
Exactly.
Don't get fucking offended over it.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, sometimes I get kind of, you know, there are like a lot of just like you don't know who is who and doing what and for what reason, you know, like within the whole media, YouTube media culture. So, you know,
Motive matters.
Hmm?
Motive matters. Whatever motivates somebody to be a certain way or act a certain way or do certain things, it matters what that motive is behind what they're doing. I lost my cool already.
True. Well, actually, motive, check this out. So that's interesting that you mentioned that. Motive is kind of ambiguous, you know, because even though you might have the motivation to protect your family, it's not your intent to kill anyone. But if you have to protect your family, you would, you know. So motive is kind of like this like gray area of intention, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Motive is your intention. What's the reasoning that you are behaving in this manner? Are you trying to do harm? Are you trying to help people? Are you trying to listen one up? Are you trying to, you know, step on their neck? And hello, Flute Dog.
Blue. Exactly.
Hi, how you doing, guys?
Wonderful, wonderful.
It's on your mind, bud.
Nolly D, love you so much. Thank you very much for all your support.
I got the coolest stickers given to me tonight, and I fucking lost them. There they are. I got one of Wonder Woman and Supergirl making out. It's a sticker, and they're making out. It's phenomenal. And it's Batman doing Batwoman.
Isn't that special? That is just too special.
My crazy ass.
I think you're special too, though, because you've been around for a while helping out in the community, as far as I know.
Yeah,
I remember.
4 years now. I go by the date of my surgery, because that's when I finally went from like just watching everybody to like talking, because I was stuck at home and I was going crazy. I was going crazy really bad.
Right.
Hi, Nolly.
What do you think? Oh, go ahead, Fluke. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. No, it's fine. It's just I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh no, go ahead, interrupt me anytime you need to. Please.
I just wanted to know what you guys were, you know, discussing tonight.
Oh, literally anything. There is a new channel. I don't know, maybe it's been here forever. Guy's only got like 30 some subscribers, But the conversations that he has on his channel are, well, they're right up our alley, and they're done in a way that remains respectful even to people with a different opinion. And that's nice, because the only way we're going to see common ground between different opinions is if we're able to hear each other and be heard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I know, me too, be scared until I think about how long have I been in the wheelchair, and I'm like, oh, wait, wow. Yeah, we've been here for a minute. But
kind of acknowledging everybody, you know, and really kind of listening to not just their voices, but their conduct as well, you know, in the community.
Exactly. You know, when a cop or a cop supporter says tase all auditors or shoot all auditors, they're not good people. They're bad cops if they're cops. And they're bad people, period. Because why would you want to do somebody harm just because they belong to a certain group of people? You're a bad human being. Fuck you.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, it goes both ways too, right?
Exactly.
I mean, I think what you're talking about is like a thing in law. It's actually called comity, COMITY. Sounds like comedy, but it's actually with an ITY instead of the EDY.
Yeah, I don't know that word. What does it mean?
Oh, it's just like doing goodwill, you know, like giving the benefit of the doubt to your neighbor, you know, just like working with your neighbor, like, you know, doing, you know what I mean? Trading and stuff like that. You're giving an act of comedy, especially in law when you're like, in other words, like it's kind of like a forbearance actually, which is another formality where you are going to give the benefit of the doubt to the other party in lieu of another action that you could have taken. Okay, you could have taken one action, but instead you gave them you didn't. You restrained yourself, and so yeah, it's called a forbearance. But yeah, it's like what we need to do. I think you know, honestly, is just I'm talking about me, of course. I think I just need to like center myself right now, like, and get really down to brass tacks with who I see myself as in this world right now.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, you only have you to answer to, man. And so,
yeah,
you know, make yourself look good.
Right? No leave. Yeah. But, you know, the auditing community has served a huge purpose in, you know, for me in helping me to identify and understand, like, you know, what it is I really want to help, what I do in the world, you know, it's like, so I really have to, I'm always really grateful for the auditing community and in the way that you have, like, always been here, you know, as a support. I mean, I see that as a really, really valuable asset of the community, you know, so like to lose someone like you would be hard for the community, you know, like we need more people like you, I think. I mean, and I make videos about other auditors sometimes, and it's fun, but it's never meant to be like to, you know, take away from the steam that auditing produces, you know, because obviously it's hot. It's what's hot, you know. It's
hi. Can I just say something?
Yeah, please.
Saying to what Auditon just said with regards to the auditing community is it's really difficult in the UK to sort of get any traction and get any sort of you know, sort of awareness to what we're trying to do and why we're trying to do it, and that's a really difficult thing in the UK.
Now, see,
okay.
what I do here is I go to live feeds that have nothing to do with rights at all. I will go to a music live feed. I have a few bands who are the members or friends of mine. I'll go to their live feed, and I will spark up a conversation, not leading it, but, you know, allowing the people I'm talking to lead the conversation, because there's always something political being talked about in those. And I will just point out little caveats to what they're already saying or the point they're already trying to make, and where I got that information from, and will do my best to always share at least one or two channels that I think would appeal to the person I'm talking to at that moment. Like if I'm in a country western type of music live feed, I'm going to certainly not tell them, hey, go and check out, loudmouth A, B, or C. I'm going to have them go and check out somebody who's calm and laid back and maybe talks like they do, or has similar points of views as they might have because of the genre of music they listen to. Angry people who listen to heavy metal, dude, they absolutely love people like SGV and stuff. But somebody who listens to country or listens to old ass music, they don't, not so much.
Well, I mean, I think also that people that will have an open mind, as far as like what it is, what style of auditing that they like, or whatnot, you know what I mean? Like, and isn't that what you were talking about, styles of auditing?
Yeah, and just knowing what who to refer or discuss in a feed that has nothing to do with auditing, to get people more interested in what we're doing and what we're trying to do and why we're doing it, which is something I find very, very important. If you want to go out and educate people, go out and educate people. When they ask you, what are you doing? Answer them. Tell them what you're doing and why you're doing it. And do it in a way that's non-aggressive.
Can I answer that question?
Sure.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
What I find in the UK is it's like it's very simple as far as I'm concerned. It's a case of I'm a photographer. I've always been a photographer. I've been a photographer for over 30 years, and I find it very difficult when I now go out and take pictures. All of a sudden, I'm a terrorist, or I'm accused of doing this or accused of doing that, and
wow,
it's just not acceptable. It's just not acceptable. In the UK, there's like you're 6 times more likely to die in police custody than you are, dying in a terrorist incident. So, it for me, it just rolls over all the bullshit that they lay on us just makes them look worse because, it just doesn't make any sense. If you're 6 times more likely to die in police custody than you are of dying in a terrorist incident, what's their explanation?
And who's really a terrorist? Oh
no. I think they should get rid of I think if people so it's not the qualified immunity thing. I think it's a liability thing when it comes to these cops. Or do we have to really question this? Are they relying on their liability and how they think that they're not going to have any? Or do they really think that they're doing the right thing? Do most of them think that they're doing the right thing? And what's interesting about that is I guess that's why I guess they have the issue of qualified immunity, right? You guys are bringing up a really good point, and I think it has everything to do with qualified immunity. And I think to get rid of qualified immunity altogether would create a standard, that could have ramifications, that have a retroactive effect and also a progressive effect, basically, which is basically what they basically reverse what we really want to get done. I think it would create too many control measures without putting too much emphasis on it.
Well, the thing is they blow right through their policy anyway. They don't care. And the thing is, qualified immunity allows them to break fucking policy and lie about the reason why and say, oh, I was afraid of that person who was running away from me, and that's why I shot and killed them. And get away with it. There is no way anybody thought they were doing the right fucking thing by shooting their 15-year-old in the back. Nobody thinks they're doing the right thing in that moment. And if they do, they're fucking crazy.
Sorry.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, but Yeah, and you know what? It's interesting because she's talking about the difference between natural law and historical law, and I understand why she's polarized. It sounds to me to be a bit polarized, but I understand that position because I'm empathetic, right, to humanity. So I totally understand where you're coming from, Nolan. Thank
Can I just interject?
Please.
Sorry to interrupt you, guys. I know.
No, it's not interrupting. It's being part of the conversation.
Like the problem we have in the UK, especially with the whole COVID bullshit that's going on, is the fact that we've now got a polarized police force, where we've got a police force that will take the knee and bow down to BLM, and we've got a police force that will, take, literally let, Extinction Rebellion do whatever they want. But when people take to the streets and protest the lockdowns and all of the other bullshit that's going on, they're literally coming out with riot gear.
Oh, wow.
And they're literally beating protesters. If you protest BLM, you're fine. If you protest Extinction Rebellion, you're fine. If you protest, the climate change bullshit, you're fine. But if you go out and protest, the lockdowns and all this bullshit fucking COVID crap,
That is
if
wrong.
you go out and do
That's
that,
interesting.
then you get fucking battered by the police. They literally come out, and I will give you 2 links. There's
yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
you can go and watch it.
I haven't heard about this at all.
Yeah, you can go and watch it. There's two YouTube channels. One's called Subject Access, and the other one's called Tyrant Finder UK. And they literally go out and film all of the protests in the UK. And please go and ask all your subscribers to go and watch those guys, and you will go and see the bullshit that goes on. It's fucking ridiculous. It's like, if you want to go and protest BLM, and you want to go and protest, the climate change and all this bullshit, you can do it. You're fine, But if you want to go and protest the lockdowns and the COVID bullshit, then literally the police are going to come out with, fucking, it's just insane. They will come out with
Okay. Can I say something?
Yeah, go.
Thank you, buddy. I think that, okay, so it's been said before, that's why I say again, that's a stage, they're setting everyone up to protest, obviously, right? And I don't know, I mean, the government, generally is representative, right? That's the form of government, so they think that they are doing what they're doing, right, for you, as you, not just for you, but as you. And that's the magical, twisted aspect of all of this that I think a lot of people, if they took notice of, they'd be able to really they'd be able to see the solution as well to the problem. Okay? But, until we start to recognize that the agencies and their actors are merely acting on our behalf as citizens, I'm not saying I'm one, just giving an example, then we're not going to, be able to progress as a society and move past, and create law that benefits us. Instead we'll probably move in a direction of a new normal or whatever, create some different type of thing.
Has the as far as laws go, have it in the bag. They are the ones who help create most of them. Even after what's his name got caught with a letterhead on his bill that was his bill, didn't belong to nobody else, and it was an Alex fucking group letterhead that was on there, not his. He forgot to change it. I can't figure.
You lost me a little bit. I'm trying to figure out what you.
You've never
What were you
heard of
talking
Alex, the Alex group? I think that's what it's called. Is it? Yeah. Alex.
I guess I haven't. Alex
Oh
group?
my
No.
God! Don't go down that rabbit hole, please. Don't. It'll.
Okay,
Don't.
I will
Don't.
try not to.
It's all bad, dude. It's all bad.
Yeah.
It just points out
But
even
I'm-
more that the people with these big, huge
Okay.
Fortune 500 companies are the ones who are really in charge of shit.
Well, I totally get that too. I mean, and I don't doubt it. You know, what's the name of the company?
It's
Or-
a group, and it's called the Alex Group.
Okay, interesting.
There is a documentary called Something 13. This came out here this past year, and they talk about it in that documentary a little bit, enough to where it'll perk your interest. That's for sure.
Can
Oh,
I just make a point?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
We've gone beyond the point of watching documentaries and watching, YouTube videos about, shit that happened 10 years ago. I've been watching this shit for 10 fucking years, and it's gone beyond that. It's gone beyond that. It's got to the point now where we need to fucking stand up, because it's gone beyond, oh, let's watch a documentary from 2002 and all that shit. And it's gone beyond that.
Well, I mean,
if we don't
I
stand
understand
up,
what you're saying.
we don't stand up now, we are fucked. It's as simple
But the
as
way that you stand up, right, is it can be in many different ways, or at least a couple that I can think of. We don't have to respond in just one way. Like a lot of people think that they have to protest by going out there and standing in the street, and that's not a bad idea, right? But I think strategy is everything, and the really good protest probably starts with a little bit of writing, out the mission and the idea of what it is that the whole entire protest stands for. You know what I'm saying? And so, I understand. I think there's just a lack of direction within the people all around the world right now. That's why it just seems like people are lackadaisic. And you see lawsuits here and there against local governments or state governments for shutting down businesses and stuff. But in general, yeah, I'm not seeing very many people, rebelling against it or saying no. So I mean, maybe there's a threshold. Go ahead.
Can I make a point? Sorry.
Oh, absolutely, dude. That's why I was like, pausing.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's about. I think we've just gone beyond the protests and all the rest of it, because, and this is the thing that they're trying to lead us into. They're trying to lead us into the point where we've now gone beyond the peaceful protest and saying, look, we want our rights back, and we don't want anything to do with this COVID bullshit. We want to go beyond that. We want to, we want our rights back, and it's as simple as that, But they won't do that. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to entice the public into getting violent against the government. So then the government can then respond and say, look, you're being violent,
Yeah.
So therefore we can then act in a violent way against you, And it's they're literally enticing us into doing it.
It's what it is. It's a misuse of the common law. Absolutely, I'm with you. I apologize. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to just get us into. And in the UK, they introduced law, well, what they call law, to say that no more than two people can gather in a public place anymore, which means they've just completely taken away our right to demonstrate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that fucking?
So as soon as they take away your right to demonstrate, As soon as you do demonstrate, you're then breaking the law. And then they can turn around and they go, right, okay, you're breaking the law. And the police just come in and fucking violate our rights. And I've said to you before, you know, there's these two guys that go out. Oh, actually, there's more than two guys, but there's Subject Access and Tyrant Finder, who went out and filmed all the demonstrations in London over this weekend. So it's not like it's like last weekend or 2 weekends before. This was like yesterday, you know, and they're still doing it, you know, and they're still going against our rights on the basis of the fact that the government can just turn around and say, we've now decreed that you can't do this and you can't do that and you can't. It's just bullshit.
Right,
And
it's arbitrary sweeping of civil authority.
Yeah, they're just literally enticing us into a situation where the only option we have is to become violent against the politicians, against politics. You know, that's our only option is to literally become violent against the police.
I don't know. I have to I disagree. I think a lot of things haven't been tried yet. You know, like, and if they have been tried, they're on the private side, and not a lot of people know about it. It doesn't get a lot of publicity on the mainstream or even in the interwebs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. It's just it's like you say, it's like you're not going to see this shit on the BBC. You know, you're not going to see this shit on Channel 4, Channel 5, ITV, you know, CNN, and all the rest of it. You know, you're not going to see that. You know, but the point is, they literally what they're trying to do is marginalize us to such a degree that we become, you know, the sheep, if you like, you know, will so disagree with us that we become marginalized that when we try to say, look, here's the truth, here's what they're trying to do, here's what they're trying to take away from us, here's our rights that they're trying to take away from us, you know, and here's why it's so fucking diabolical what they're trying to do. That the only thing left for a lot of people are going to start thinking, right, we need to go out and be violent, and then they turn it against us and say, oh, look, these people are being violent against the police and violent against the government, and just completely turn it against us.
And that would be terrorism, like, right? Terroristic.
Oh yeah, and then you're a terrorist, and you all this and that, and you are. I mean, I've been out
because your intent.
I've been
your intent was political.
I've been photographed in a public place and been called a terrorist. I've been arrested and held in handcuffs for 2.5 hours for having a camera in a public place in the UK. I mean, for fuck's sake. At which point are people going to wake up and smell the fucking coffee?
It blows my mind that the UK has billions of fucking cameras everywhere, like to the point where it kind of is uglified some cities. There's so many fucking cameras. And if you have a camera, fucking, you're going to get arrested. What the fuck?
Well, it's like, you know, this is the bullshit that goes on. It's like, you know, you've got police officers that come up to me when I'm taking pictures in a public place, and they go, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. And I'm saying, well, you've got a fucking camera on your fucking shoulder taking pictures of me, and you're telling me I can't take pictures of you. You know, what fucking planet are you living on? How degenerate, how fucking, you know.
Yeah. You know what? It's a blatant disregard for these dignity of human beings by the cops, and you can tell that they are taking advantage of the You know what I mean? The people, the common people. By lying to them.
I think
And what they do is they
generally
get them to volunteer, ultimately just volunteer, and they do it through these like the threat of their presence and the shiny badges and shit. So
yeah,
yeah.
and I think what people have to understand, people outside of all of this, we all know what's going on, but outside of that, what people outside of this need to understand is the fact that why is it the government can take pictures of you and video you, but you can't video the government?
That's not the case.
That's
That's
what
just
people
that.
need to understand.
Well, no, it's not. That's not the case. There is no you. You know, I understand what you just said, and I'm not. With all due respect, I'm not in a bad mood or anything, so I'm not attacking you. I don't
No,
feel
of
like you
course not.
attacked me,
No.
but I'm just, I disagree. I think the people have. It's been widely, recognized, right, broadly that the government is recognizing the people's right to record in public. Okay, and even if they're doing it just to pacify, you know, it's interesting. Let's say it's lawless, and we just think, it's all a game. We think that they're
There was this video that was done the other day with and I'm sure you can try and find it on YouTube. And it was on Tyrant Finder UK. And when Tyrant Finder was arrested for taking pictures in a public place and stuffed
yeah.
into the back of a police van, the next guy that went up to the police officers and said to them, which police station is he going to? Where can we find him? We need to be able to find him, blah, blah, blah. The police officer said, I don't want you videoing me. Said the police officer that's wearing a fucking body camera.
Right. Exactly.
What
And
Exactly.
the
sort
reason
of
they don't
what
want you to have your own footage of them is because they know damn well that whatever they have been doing or they plan on doing is bullshit.
exactly? So it's okay for the
Yeah.
government to
There you go.
record us, but we can't record the government.
Well, in sometimes officers, what you're saying, it's not that we can't do it. It's just that you get some bad actors, right? That don't recognize your
No,
right to do it. They just don't recognize. Hold on now. Hear me out. Hear me out, bro. Bro,
I don't accept
bro.
bad
I gave you.
actors.
I gave you the latitude. Please give me the
No,
latitude
go on.
to.
Yeah, sorry, no, okay, carry on.
I'm saying that like it has been. No, I'm saying that they probably are pacifying a lot of the people that are out there exercising their rights because they know that the law does exist and there's case law precedents, and I mean it's complicated, but at this point in time they are being instructed to stand down, and really that's what they are just puppets, the police, and really they're puppets for the legislature, okay? And sometimes a rogue executive branch. So those are just things that the people always have to watch out for. And if it comes to the mind, it becomes obvious, right, that you have a corrupt government. Then there are things that you need to do to remedy that as a people.
Can I make a
It's not
point?
the government's fault. So yeah.
Can I make a point? Sorry.
Well, I yield the mic if that's what you're asking. Yes, I yield.
Sorry, no, I know there's a bit of a time delay, so I didn't want to sort of interrupt you.
Go ahead, Food Dog. We're listening.
Yeah, okay. What I'm trying to say is, in this video, a police officer with a body camera is saying, "I don't want you to video me," to a guy with a video camera. What the fuck is going on? And if you can't see the difference between the fact that the government can video you and the police can video you, but when they say, I don't want to be video recorded, what the fuck is going on?
Where does that mentality come from? Is what you're really asking, right?
It's not even a mentality. There's no mentality to that. It's fucking it's
It's a
fucking
fucking thought, right? It's a thought, but it's a thought though.
institutionalized bullshit.
It's weak.
That's what
Yeah,
it
well,
is.
it's the
And if people can't realize that the fact that the government want to video record you in the UK, we're the most video record surveilled fucking, you know, country in the world. Over a UK citizen is 400 times a day having their photograph taken by CCTV cameras. 400 times a day. And then you got police officers on YouTube saying, I don't want to be video recorded, while they're recording the very people that are video recording them. That
well, they can
is
say that.
fucking bullshit.
Fluke dog. I understand your plight, and I think you're making some broad statements that should be narrowed in order to get a better understanding. That, you know, it's not that they. You said police officers. You know, you made your statement as if it was a fact, is what I'm saying. Okay, which it
Sorry,
sounded a little more like an opinion.
What
It
was the broad,
sounded more like an opinion, and so
what
I
was the
was
broad
just
statement? What constitutes a broad statement?
meaning that it's ambiguous. But
What's ambiguous? We've got a police officer on film saying he doesn't want to be
what?
recorded
Yeah.
while he's
What
wearing
is
a
the
body
case?
camera recording the very same person that's recording him. And he
Right.
says, I
Noli,
don't want to be recorded, right?
Noli, is he talking about a case that is currently
It's
the
on
topic of the
YouTube.
discussion?
It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. It's there for everybody to watch. A
I see.
guy was
Okay.
video recording the police that just arrested somebody for photographing in a public place, right?
Yeah.
Then the police officer says to the next video recorder, I don't want you to video record me, while he's wearing a fucking body camera.
Yes, I hear that.
Which bit of that don't you understand? So it's
I
okay
understand what you're saying.
for the police to record us, but we
That's
can't
one
record
circumstance,
them.
though, right? Well, no, that's
Eh?
one circumstance. You're talking about this particular circumstance, though, right? Not every circumstance, right?
Well, it doesn't matter what the circumstance is. No matter,
It doesn't?
regardless of the circumstance, whether I'm doing
Oh.
an audit or whatever the circumstance is, if a police officer can wear a body camera and record me and then say to me that I can't record him, which bit of that don't you understand?
Again, that is listen. The vagueness of your statement, it just leaves too many questions. You know, I mean, you sound convincing, but I'll be honest with you. I mean, it's really, we have a policy that people, you know, American policy is that people have the right to record in public. That's the actual law. You know, like it's a free country. You know, like so. I mean, and
So
even in the world, you have the right to do
bit,
it. You have the right to do it. You have. Well, first of all, let me hear me out.
yeah, go
I
on.
believe that the English law, right, is also based on the Magna Carta, you know, which it has this people at the root of the power, the base, you know, and so I understand that in both England and America, uh, the the elected officials and the agencies under them always want to act like we have to use their processes in order to actually get anything done. See, and I think that stigma is just stopping so many people from just doing ordinary things that a wise people would do, you know, to remedy the tyranny, you know what I mean, afoot.
Okay, can I make a point?
Absolutely.
My point is, and I'm not knocking you or not saying anything against you. All I'm saying is we literally have police officers saying, I don't want to be recorded while they're wearing
Yeah.
a body camera.
Good story. Yeah.
And then you know, and saying to the videographer, I don't want to be recorded. What the fuck
That's,
is that all
I
about?
understand. Yeah, that's an interesting question. What do you think,
That is
Noli? I just,
fucking
I think that
bullshit.
it's a
It's
good
bullshit.
story
It's
to
like
bring forward. Well,
the
it's a
point
good
is the point there is it's like the
what
government saying we've got the right to record you, but you don't have the right to record us.
that right?
And
Okay.
that's where the fucking problem lies. That's why auditors do what they do. That's why I've gone out and done what I've done. That's why I've been arrested for taking pictures in a public place, because they don't like the fucking camera on them. They don't like the fucking camera being pointed at them, but they don't mind the camera being pointed at me.
Hmm.
So where's the fucking line? Where do we draw that fucking line?
So
It's
you're
fucking.
not auditing. Are
It's
you
not fucking
auditing
accept.
in order
Sorry,
to bring? Are you? You were
sorry.
saying
There's a
you were
bit of a
talking about
delay.
your
Sorry.
you were talking about your intentions with your auditing.
My auditing's fucking irrelevant. What I'm saying to you is, at the end of the day, why is a police officer saying to a photographer, "I don't want to be filmed," when he is filming the photographer? That's the fucking problem I've got.
I understand. I
So
understand what you're saying.
the
Yeah.
government can record you, but you can't
Yeah.
record the government.
That is one circumstance. Now, when you say the government, that is an indefinite article as you using it, which implies, like you're not naming which government that you're talking about. Actually, it's a definite article, so you would have to be a little more specific as to which government you were actually naming.
Okay,
Is it the
I'll be specific, right?
Mhm.
I'm being specific. The police is an agent of the government, right? The police
Mhm.
have given the authority by the government to carry out the law,
By
right?
the executive branch of government, right?
Yeah, and that may be the same in the UK. We might have differences
Right.
on, you know, in the US and the UK and how
Really,
we.
if you really want to put it right, it's the executive arm of the people, commonly called the government agencies. That's
No,
the truth.
government agencies are public servants employed by us with our tax
Hmm.
money to carry out, you know, whatever they've got to do. And I don't get me wrong. If they've got to carry out and stop bank robbers,
Yeah.
or, you know, fucking car thieves, or whatever it is they've got to do, then they can do that. You know, and I don't have any problems with that whatsoever. The problem I have is when a government functionary, a government official, a police officer stands there in a public place and tells somebody that they can't record that police officer while he's recording on his body camera the very same person that's recording them. Because that means that
Yeah.
the government's got the
Yeah.
right to record us, but we don't have the right to record the government.
Well, I guess at
Please,
least in that
please,
circumstance.
please
Well, no,
explain that.
actually,
Please
I can
explain that
explain
to
it to
me.
you. I can explain it to you. Okay. It's called acting under color of law, and it's actually found at Title 42, Section 1983 in the U.S. Law. Okay.
In the US
Um,
code, yes, I understand that.
yeah.
I'm well aware of
Yeah.
it.
So it has to do with, any person that does that. So whether it doesn't matter who it is, they can claim to be immune because they work for an agency. But if they're acting under color of law and they're depriving rights, genuine constitutional rights, whatever other type of right, it's a disability right, something like that, right? Then they're subjects, that because they are literally the subjects under the law, having subjected themselves to public scrutiny by holding their position of employment, and so yeah, it is fucked up. It's massively it's definitely detrimental to the psyche, I think, of society to sit there
No,
and witness one of
I'm
its
not.
own people.
I'm not.
Can
I'm
I
not.
finish?
I'm not saying you have to bow down and agree with me. I'm just saying, is what I'm saying right? Is the government got to right to
Mm,
fucking photograph and video record me, but then the very same government officials are saying that I don't have the right to record them?
I think that you are right in feeling what you feel, and that
It's not about feelings, mate. It's about rights. Do they have the right to record me? Yes, they do. And do I
yes,
have the right to record them? Yes, I do.
yes,
Because the personal cameras were invented in 1815, right? 150 years before CCTV cameras were introduced. So where do you think the precedent lies? It lies with
actually,
us.
mm, it probably lies with the local constables and the peacekeepers of the medieval times and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like communities policing themselves is kind of where all of that comes from. And so that's why each individual police officer should be held liable, in every circumstance, you know what I mean? And it should also apply very specifically to the facts of each case if there was to be any type of like reprimand. You know what I mean? I mean, it can't be you can't just sit there and say, uh, you know, oh yeah, the government doesn't want you to film. It's okay for them to film, but not you, because you're so vague as far as who this them is. You're saying all government is the same, right?
How am I being
But
vague?
how can you let's finish. Let me finish. How can you give the government, which is a legal fiction, right, any type of personality, like a negative one, right? How is there any type of negativity associated, like ill will by the government? How can the government actually have any intention at all? It can't, because it's a legal fiction. The only one that can do the shit wrong is the individual officer. So the system is set up to where everyone has rights protected. Okay? And you get these bad actors out there, and so you know it's easy to think that the whole system is corrupt, especially when you have a group of actors. So
Well,
and it's very
the group
yeah.
of actors are the police force. The police force is a part of the government, right? Now, the government are then saying, and this is a police officer, a police sergeant, not a
Yeah,
fucking Mickey Mouse fucking PC. This is a police sergeant
yeah,
saying on video, I don't want to be recorded while he's wearing a body camera.
okay.
Think about it. I mean, that ain't
You
fucking
don't have
rocket
to.
science,
It doesn't.
you
Well,
know.
no. I mean,
And
that's why I'm saying to
on
you.
top of that, you've got fucking one of the country. We are the most recorded country
Yeah.
on the planet. Over 400 times a day, a civilian in the UK is being recorded by CCTV cameras, right? We are
Hmm.
the most recorded country in the UK. London is the most recorded city in the UK after Las Vegas. So it's not like it's it's not like it's like just I just made it up. I'm
No,
a
I mean, when you're talking about
photographer,
surveillance, be
and
brief. Are you talking?
I'm a photographer, and I know
We got
exactly
it.
what's going on. You
Thank you,
know,
Fluke Dog. No, I really
so
appreciate you, dude. Hmm.
I'm frustrated. Don't get me wrong.
I
I
know.
don't want to be rude. I don't want to come across as rude
You're
or
never rude.
or sorry,
Oh yeah.
Aldertron. Sorry, I don't want to come
Oh no,
across
no
as
worries,
being
bud.
rude.
No, I get it. I get it. And you know what?
I'm just
Law is a
hugely
confusing thing.
frustrated. You know, I'm just
I know.
hugely frustrated because it's like, you know, in the UK, um, there was there used to be licenses for um, uh, for producing stories against the government. and that was rescinded 325 years ago. 325 years ago, those licenses were rescinded. Prior to 1695, you had to have a license to criticize your government, and that's
so
when it
weird.
was rescinded.
Isn't that weird? A license.
That is weird.
Yeah, you had to have a license, and that's when what came in was called the free press, because people didn't have access to a press machine. A press machine in the 1600s was the way you could produce your own material and your own pamphlets, your own leaflets. That's the only way you could do it, and the only way you could do it
So it was hugely industrial, is what you're saying.
No, and that's what they did. What they did was the government then said that you couldn't do that. You couldn't stop somebody from having a right to a free press. So the free press was the fact that they made the press, literally the machinery of press was made available to everybody. So, because I couldn't, in the 1600s and in the 1600s, I couldn't, buy a press machine because they were fucking massively expensive then. So they became free, and that's why the free press became invented. And that's why everybody had an access to a machine that they could produce their own leaflets saying whatever they wanted to against the government or against whatever the government was of that day, or the religion of that day, or whatever it was. You had the free reign, the free press. That's
you're saying
where
that
it came in.
Hold on. You're saying that the government was in control of these devices.
Exactly.
Prior to this institution of the free press.
Prior to 1695, the government had the right to issue a license for you to print whatever you wanted to print. Right? After 1695,
a license to print.
Literally a license to print. After 1695, the government then, I think it was the courts literally said you can't do that. You can't have a government license to say that somebody can print whatever they want and distribute it, whether it be,
Today they still want to see your fucking document or your documentation or your
Exactly. No. You can say I want to print something to do with the Christianity. I want to do something to do with Jewish. I want to do something to do with this. I want to do something to do with that religion or whatever it is. They literally said you can't do it anymore. And in 1695, that's 325 years ago, they said you can't do it anymore. You can't limit people's right to print and distribute whatever they want. That's when the free press came in, because the people that had the onus, the people that owned the presses, had to unlimit the press. That's where the free press came in.
Can I just mention something?
Yeah, go.
That I believe that the right to travel is intertwined with this principle of free press, okay? Because it has everything to do with your production value, and so I think like there's moving from state to state in commerce, right, is like a traveling thing, and you have that right that's protected. It's a fundamental right under the U.S. Constitution. Your right to travel, your right to seek the profession of your choice, which is ultimately, I think, what you were just hitting on. You know, so a lot of what you're saying is actually protected, and we have these bad actors, right, that seem to somehow, or we have gotten ourselves into a situation where we're somehow subjects. Everyone is a subject, you know.
Yeah, I agree with you so much on so many levels, because you know we really do come from the same perspective, and what you've got to remember is the fact that you know I love all of my friends in America. Trust me, I love them all. I've got all the Second Amendment guys. I've got, you know, all the fucking YouTubers that I know in the States, and I love them all to
Yes, sir.
death. Do you know what I mean? What we've got to remember is, where did your constitutional rights come from? They come from the 1215 Magna Carta, the 1668 Bill of Rights in the UK. That's where it came from. It came from
Yes,
there. 1668 beats 1776 all day long,
absolutely. Yeah.
right? And that's where it came from. And what the people in the UK need to fucking wake up to is the fact that we fucking started this. Where did the
Exactly.
fucking
What the
Constitution of
fuck?
Canada, where did the Constitution of Canada come from? Where did the Constitution of Australia come from? Where did the Constitution of New Zealand come from? Where did the Constitution of America come from? It came from the UK. The 1215 Bill of Rights, the 1668 Bill of Rights. It didn't come from 1776. It didn't come from the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the Third Amendment, and the Fourth Amendment, and the rest of it. It didn't come from any of that. We still have the Fifth Amendment right in the UK not to answer questions from the
What,
police or any
tell
government
me,
official.
tell me,
Where do
if
you
you don't
think
mind.
that came from? And then that's what people in this country, I'm not being rude, or what I'm saying is that people in this country need to fucking understand. In this
Your
country,
country.
in the UK,
Yeah.
they need to fucking understand that this is where the fucking Constitution comes from. It comes from the UK. This is where the UK Constitution started, and this is where every constitution started in the whole of the fucking
I
planet.
understand what he's saying. He's basically saying a lot of the other constitutions around the world are based on the English common law, which it actually, to be honest with you, he's talking about post-Norman invasion common law, and there was a common law that was around even before the implementation of the form of law that came with the norms, which was a form of precedence. They actually brought this form of record keeping and reliance on previous decisions with them. And even though like that, you can see that a lot of these juries, have made their decisions, and they get written down. The decision gets written down, right, in a book somewhere, and there's this collection of all these decisions that these juries made, right? And that's what they look to, under the common law in general. But it's to my understanding that there was a common law that existed before the Norman invasion, whereby the separation of powers doctrine wasn't so prominent and dominant, whereby the sheriff and at the community level had the authority to judge you too for what you were doing right there on the spot if he was a witness, and he could be the executive officer as well at the local level. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
and
it's
the
kind of like,
basic principle is if you go back to 1215, 1215, we're
yeah,
not
12.
talking about 1966, we're not talking about 1776, we're not talking even about the human rights
1215 is the
legislation.
Magna Carta.
1215 is the Magna Carta.
The Magna Carta, right.
1215 is where that every constitution on the planet comes from 1215. 1215. You know,
Well, I mean,
we're
it's
talking
not
about
positive law though.
we're talking about fucking 800 fucking years ago.
But you also, I know, but that's
We're not
influential
talking
and
about
persuasive.
1776. We're not talking about, 1668. You know, we're not talking about the
Yeah.
Magna Carta, or we're not even talking about, legislation or the 1668 Bill of Rights in the UK, which supersedes the 1776 Bill of Rights in America. You know, it supersedes that by over 100 years. You know,
Mm-hmm.
which bit
But
of that which
mhm.
bit of that do people not comprehend? That's what I want to know. Which bit of that do people not comprehend?
Well, it's not that they probably don't comprehend. Maybe they don't get the benefits, or they have been the benefits of that particular way of being has been hidden from them, and they chose a different route. It does suck though. To see such disregard for the English common law, which has a lot of usable things. But I mean, in a lot of ways, it's kind of good also that it's being challenged and stepped up to by the rest of the world. You know what I'm saying? Just so that way, um, we have to understand something though. I think if it has its influence, either negative or positive, it probably would not matter. Like people were going to do what they want to do regardless. So the Magna Carta's influence, talking about the people, basically are the ones that have the power, over the government, and they will ultimately be, the ones who determine who's in office, okay, or not, and they claim their rights. It's like a written claim of right, you know. It's definitely one of the like documents that and incidences and ideas, at least, right, uh, in the psyche of man, right, that establishes a place in history or time that we can actually look to and say, hey, here's something that represents freedom, and the people being in control of their government. This is this thing. It's called the Magna Carta. And that's just drilled into everyone's psyche, when in fact, right, the Magna Carta itself is what is being used by these agencies. The authority that the Magna Carta exemplifies in its eloquent wording, the authority conferred on is basically allowing every community to form according to, what I mean, its own standards. And therefore you have a situation occurring right now where you do see that. You see a lot of local communities with a bunch of different policies from state to state, from city to city. So in a lot of ways, what we have today really, really does resemble the English version of common law, but it has a lot of top-down authoritarian attributes, I think, and that's evident.
And
Yeah.
I agree with you in that respect. I think what it is, it's that people acquiesce to the fact that they just go, okay, the police said I have to do this, so I have to do it, and that's bullshit. Just the same in the US. If you just walking down the street and they say, oh, you're suspicious, what sort of bullshit is that? What's suspicious? It's like when I go out with my
Yeah.
camera.
Mhm.
When I go out with my camera and I'm accused of being suspicious,
Mhm.
it's bullshit.
Yeah. It's awesome. Way to call out
It's
those
not.
actors. I got to give you props for being able to call out the bad actors. Right, Noli? I mean, he's got a good eye, a keen eye
100%,
for.
100%. And I also think that earlier when he was talking about the camera thing with the cops, that cop had also just arrested somebody for no other reason than him being recorded and him not wanting to be recorded. And so, to demand to the point where he's going to arrest you for recording and demand he doesn't want to be recorded. Basically, if you don't stop recording, I'm going to arrest you and get away with it is bullshit. And there needs to be repercussions when cops break policy. They need a 3 strikes you're out fucking rule. They know how to behave. They're highly trained officers, you know.
Yep.
And if they're so highly trained, they should be able to follow fucking policy.
I agree, Nolly. I agree with you wholeheartedly. What we
Well, that
have,
would
we have a
go ahead.
position where what we have is we have a position where they can control the narrative all the time. They can say, I don't want you to record me. I don't want you to record in a public place. I don't want you to record my traffic stop. I don't want you to record this, that, the other, you know. But they have body cameras recording everything they're doing because they want to control the narrative. If they want to control the narrative on a traffic stop, then it's their body camera that controls the narrative. I mean, it's ridiculous. We've seen this on a million fucking YouTube videos. A million
Right, and
fucking YouTube
but see,
videos.
here's what's interesting.
So why is it that they can control the narrative, but you can't control the
And you're
narrative?
right, and your question really alludes to a more formal question of what is the actual challenge that we face as it relates to the human situation right now. Okay? What is the actual challenge? It
What's
is
the question?
well, when you're
Hey,
looking at what human.
guys, we need to go over to Ice Cold's channel.
All right,
Awesome. It looks like they're about ready to kill murder suspect on his channel right now. So I'm gonna grab a link and then log off on this and go over there.
Okay, yeah, do that.
Okay.
Thank you for letting us chime in and chat. Appreciate that. Very fun. Fluke Dog, I appreciate the dialogue.
Hey man, look, I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, like I totally agree. But finally, just in closing, I think people are fully aware. I think, the problem is, that we are kind of limited in our thinking. Just reverting back to what you were initially talking about in about half an hour ago, that people don't always have to resort to violence. You know what I mean? To get that what they're looking for with the government. I know it seems like the last resort, but that might be jumping to conclusions. Just that's just my opinion. And again, you can follow me, Autotron, on my channel. I just made a funny video about Rogue Nation. Go check that out. But I show Rogue Nation a little bit of love, but I also give him a little bit of a hard time. But he can take it. So no, I really appreciate you, Fluke. You have a great night. Happy holidays.
I'm subscribed to a lot of channels that I don't agree with, but that's the whole point. Is to sort of see what other people put out. I don't agree with everything you say, and I'm sure you don't agree with everything I say, but that's the whole point of the dialogue, is that we can all subscribe to each other's channels, and we can I can see stuff from Rogue Nation or or whatever channel it is, Auditing America or whatever it is.
Just so you know, for the record, I've never not once agreed with something that you've mentioned tonight. I mean, I wholeheartedly agree with you on every point you made. It's like you have me,
I think I'm not being rude. I think I'm just really frustrated by what I see on a daily basis.
Isn't it frustrating? I'm with you, right there with you, buddy. Okay, no, I'm out of here. Thank you so much, you guys. I'll talk to you guys both later. Bye-bye.
Yeah,
Thanks, Ultron. Cheers.
I'll see everybody over there.
Okay, thank you.
Mwah.